Hey gang, Hammersill here. Alright, so you can see that this is a Tier 9 game that includes ships of Tiers 9, 8, and 7, and I'm playing the relatively new German battleship Pommern. When this initially came out, I got it right away. I couldn't make it work. I built it as a secondary ship. I picked up Gunther Lutjens, the captain that is kind of ideally suited for this thing. And I set it up, everything geared towards secondaries. And it just, no matter what I did, I couldn't get it to work. So I ended up going back and changing everything and setting it up as a more traditional battleship. And although I had more success with it, it was nowhere near as fun. So I changed it again and I made it all secondary again. So that's what you're seeing here. Is it's set up as entirely, I mean, it's all geared around secondaries. Look at that detection radius on the minimap there, 15.1 kilometers by sea. I don't have concealment expert. It's, again, everything is geared around secondaries. So why am I finding this to be more fun? And hats off to everybody that was in this game for being so friendly in chat. That's so uncommon these days in a random match. So why am I having more fun? Well, of course the secondaries, if you've got manual secondaries, it's just set it and forget it. You click on the ship that you want the secondaries to target, and then you just work on your positioning, your angling, and hitting things with the main guns, which, it's German. It's got German dispersion, and that means the dispersion's not very good, and the Sigma's not great. You can see the little A there. I've got the secondaries activated on that ship, but he's currently out of range. As I often do, at least initially, I'm trying to stay center as much as possible. And that provides a more or less constant. Nicely done, Akatsuki. Enemy Chungmu is down. More or less constant source of enemies to shoot at. Yes, I know, I'm showing broadside to the Iowa, but I gotta avoid those.
Torpedos auf Steuerbord.
I'm just looking for a good target. Right now it looks like Rune is probably going to come around that corner in an effort to finish off our Buffalo. I've got secondaries set up on him. There's a little A there. And off they go. Now, the Gunther Lutjens captain, or commander, once you get 100 secondary hits, you get a buff to the reload rate of your secondaries. And once that happens, it's actually kind of amazing how many secondary shots you end up putting in the air. Over the course of this game, I put 1,142 secondary shells in the air.
Gegnerischer Kreuzer zerstört.
And down goes the Rune. Yes. I took some damage there. But 89 secondary hits and a close quarters expert.
I need help.
Both teams now down 3 ships.
Good game, everyone.
Not great, but 7,300, I'll definitely take that.
Get back.
I really don't want to go outside of this island here, so I'm going to come to starboard
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
and see what damage I can do on the other flank. And hopefully not hit a friendly here.
Good game, everyone.
That was a bad trade, but
That was a great battle.
our guys over there did also manage to drag down a flint, which is good. So both teams now down 5 ships. We're just a little over 6 minutes in. I haven't done a whole heck of a lot here so far, but the game's still got a long way to go. Our Gorizia goes down to their Edinburgh. I'm a little bit leery about heading toward the Grossa, because then I've got a lot of ships that could have my broadside while I tried to turn around. But even doing my best to avoid getting whacked, I still ate a pretty hefty punch. You can see the Yugamo out there. I've got my secondaries activated on him.
Acknowledged.
And there they go. It's time for me to change direction. Change my angles. I've got guys that are at my 5 o'clock and my 3 o'clock, and you can see that the reload boost on Gunter Lünchen's just activated. You can see the fireworks there. I think that's a 15% reload buff, and you can see the difference there as I get the secondaries working on the KGB. That's why I wanted to change directions, because the Yugamo torps, there are the rest of them. And I'm slowing down a bit. I want to stay in secondary range.
Das gegnerische Team hat die Führung übernommen.
I've got secondaries working on the Cossack, but see if I can't do some damage with the main guns. Nope. You can see I was targeted by 5, by 4, now 3, 2, back up to 4. They don't have much else to shoot at right now. Organized now is making use of the island for cover. You can see they beat him up pretty good. Cossack is... He doesn't want anything to do with those secondaries, so he's falling back, trying to get out of sight, I think. And I'm going to take an opportunity here to see what I can do to this Edinburgh. That's right, Edinburgh. Turn broadside. You have nothing to worry about. Just slow down. Really hope to be a little more effective against the Edinburgh there, but shells in the air on the Cossack. Now you can see that my potential damage is up over 1 million already, closing on 1.1 million. And we're just now 10 minutes into the game. It's not going to break any records, but it's not uncommon in this ship with a secondary build, because you want to get close. That makes you a target. He's a little outside of secondary range, but
Gegnerischer Kreuzer zerstört.
That's how it's done.
yeah,
Kehren Sie zu diesem Bereich zurück.
occasionally even a blind squirrel can find a nut. And that's kind of what happened right there. So that's a Citadel on the Flint to finish him off. Take advantage of this little window here and try and get the secondaries going. Can I get another bit of damage on Edinburgh?
Alle Stationen, Feuer auf das Ziel konzentrieren.
Yeah, a little bit. I generally try to stay center in a battleship, but right now it's more to do with
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
being basically chased by the majority of their team at present. I'm getting whacked pretty hard here, and this is my last heal.
Torpedos auf backbone.
You can see that I'm taking damage now from a number of different ships. Got the secondaries working on the KGB and trying to change my angle to that FDG down there. You can see in the chat I've asked Organize now to push this way. I know he's got a lot of ships out there, including 2 destroyers. But anything he can do to take a little bit of the heat off will slow these guys' advance. And there's close quarters expert number 2. Currently at 108,000 damage. (192 secondary hits, 41 main battery hits, 2 decaps, 2 fires, 3 kills, and a broadside shot on the Vladivostok. We'll see whether that... No, he definitely won the trade there. Tip of the hat to our Chung Mu captain. He did a great job this game. And our Gneisenau captain did a fantastic job over there. His secondaries finished up the Cossack. And now we have a 4-ship to 3-ship advantage and a 200 and some odd point lead because we've got 2 caps to their 1. I know that Yugumo's out here. It's just really a question of, is he targeting the Gneisenau with torpedoes? Is he trying to line up a drop on me? Either way, I have to try and keep changing directions and speed to minimize the chance that I'm going to eat a wayward torpedo and be sunk. That's a good question from our Gneisenau captain. You can see our Sun Yang is, well, he's just a beer can thrown out ahead of him away from being sunk. Now I switched to HE here because I wanted to be able to do some damage, and if FDG and Vladivostok angled up, it's very tough to do that with AP. Not impossible, but tough. In secondary range, but he's behind the island. But I don't imagine he's going to stay there forever. So I'm going to go ahead and push in. Sun Yang goes down. It's now 3 ships to 3 ships. although I have very, very few hit points left. If properly angled, this ship is fairly tanky. And if I keep falling back, they'll secure the cap. For certain, there won't be anybody here to contest it. Nice now on our team has a similar idea. Vladivostok is focused on the Gnyza now. I might have done better here with AP, but HE's what I had loaded. Now I've got to get my nose back to him. Let my secondaries go to work. You can see I did switch to AP because the FDG is moving and I want to see if I can't get shots on him. I'm going to put torpedoes in the water here. I expect he will probably turn, yeah, as soon as Gnyza now goes down. And our Changmu took care of that. So I've got AP loaded for Vladivostok's broadside. And that's a healthy chunk of damage on the Vladivostok. So what to do now? Well, just don't die. We've got a 2-ship to 1-ship advantage. I'm going to throw some torpedoes out around that corner, just in case he stays close to the island and does come around the corner. But my goal here is to just avoid dying. I'm just going to try and keep him on one side of the island and me on the other so that he does not have the opportunity to finish me off. So while I'm hiding, let's take a look at the numbers. Total damage, 136, almost 137,000. It's not great, but decent. I think what's interesting about it is because of this build, 78,463 of that damage came from my main battery fire, and 57,658 of that damage came purely from my secondaries. So that's, not half, but close, which is a significant amount. And as I mentioned earlier, 1,142 shells, secondary shells fired. Only got 2 fires, but I have had games where I did a little bit better in terms of fires. But still, that's 549 damage, but it cost somebody to repair, and then maybe somebody landed a torpedo or started another fire. I'm going to go ahead and use this island here to stop so I can reverse into the bigger island and just stay as close as I can to stay out of sight. And then, the potential damage, a little over 2 million. And it's fun. It's very fun to play. And as you saw with the enemy DDs, once the secondaries start throwing shells in the air at them, very often it's all about how fast can I get away from that bomber. How fast can I get out of range of those secondaries? They don't want anything to do with you. So, when you've got the kind of secondary range that you've got on this thing with the flag 11.5 kilometer secondary range, and you've got something like the ICOP with a 12 kilometer torpedo range, it's going to allow you a little bit of room to anticipate where the torpedoes are coming from and to maneuver accordingly. Of course, that's all dependent upon people on your team being willing or in position to spot them, give you some idea where they're at, etc., as you saw in this game. And I'm just parked against the island here and hoping the there he is, Changmu will spot him. I know where he's at now. I know how I need to move in order to remain out of sight. One of the things about this build is that you can be spotted from the moon, essentially. Yeah, I should probably throw some torpedoes out here just in case he closes the distance, but with only 25 seconds left, I don't think there's much chance of that. This game is in the history books. It was super fun to play. As you can see, it ended up being a pretty close game. Chung Mu, captain on our team. Again, hats off to you. 4 kills. That was fantastic. Really made the difference. Thanks everybody for joining me. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.